Not really, just some garbage.
So, Brandon, you ready to let Ramon ask you 3 personal questions about D&D?
Sure.
What are you going to ask him?
First DM question that I have for you. How do you put up with robbing? And it's a very good one too, because you're one of the few that actually puts up with it.
Abandoned meditation techniques.
Do you really do abandoned meditation techniques? Sitting in front of TV does not count as meditation.
If I'm watching Jackie Chan movies, it kind of does. You know.
But you don't watch Jackie Chan
That
films.
doesn't count.
The people on YouTube didn't need to know that.
Too bad they already know that.
How? Do you guys install cameras in my house?
Good,
Yeah.
you just said it.
Well, I heard
Yeah,
that.
it's called Brandon, the day in the life of a DM. And there's cameras hidden throughout your entire house. So they got pictures of you pooping, showering, scrubbing yourself in obscene areas.
Yeah, we're getting off topic here. Go to your next question.
Okay, you didn't answer the question, how do you put up with robbing?
Play Dynasty Warriors and imagine each of those, nameless grunt troops that dies horribly with the afro.
Let's be serious for a minute.
I am being serious.
But he's asking you, how do you put up with Robbie? Because Robbie has died 37 times, and we played D&D with him for almost 2 years. As a dungeon master, how do you put up with him? Most people would have kicked him out of groups.
Just all Zen stuff, and we're in Riverbank. There's
Begin with the evasive actions.
He's evasive with his answers, I know.
it's being Zen. Just
It's not
deal
being
with
Zen.
it.
If it was being Zen, you wouldn't kill him. You wouldn't rape him.
I don't. You guys do that.
I don't.
And I don't either.
You're the one that has all 3 crab randomly appear again.
Oh, you do too. But we didn't ever touch him. He kind of writes it in.
Yeah, that's true.
We never really do that. But how do you deal with him as a person in a game? Because he says he's going to do one thing and still does what he does before.
Just ignore it mostly. Let it flow.
But we don't ignore him. That's the problem. Why do you think he became a whale? He fought fairies. Fought fairy dragons.
And the kobold did a better
A kobold beat him up.
The fairies beat him up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how do you deal with him?
Just let him do. He'll blow himself up eventually, and then we'll get back to the game.
Okay, Ramon.
Question
Ask him
number
a
2.
question he can't be evasive about.
This is what I do. Dang it.
No, I'm evasive because I know how to play words. You're kind of squirrely. Okay, Ramon's getting a smile. That's this question. He's thinking hard.
Well, how do you really plan for these campaigns? Because to be honest, think about it.
Take notes during Saturday morning cartoons.
I've kind of noticed that. I have to agree with you on that one.
That sounds like cool.
Or you were playing a video game beforehand.
Sometimes. Mix, take some of the things, toss them in a blender, see what comes out.
Now, compared to when you first started Dungeon Mastering, when you actually did rip off video games compared to now, where do you get your ideas?
Well, now I put them in a blender, so it mixes them up more.
But you don't put them in a blender, though. You kind of like...
That'll just destroy the paper.
Yeah.
I don't mean literally. I'm speaking metaphorically, mixing some stuff together. Take the opening from Ninja Turtles with the monster from Power Rangers, or something weird like that.
But you don't put the monster from Power Rangers.
I was using that as an example by naming
said,
random.
Power Rangers now are probably all high tech and crap like that.
Yeah, I'm using this example of just naming 2 random TV shows the average person's going to know. There's,
So you don't rip off Supernatural?
Somewhat, yeah.
So you rip off CSI and Dancing with the Stars?
Dancing with the Stars.
That would, I probably could come up with something.
People jumping out, dancing in front of everybody, and then walking around with a ladder balanced on his nose.
I was thinking more along the lines of some sort of, vampire attacking a, masquerade ball or something. But that would require you guys to have social connections.
Isn't that a scene in Van Helsing?
No, the vampires were
It does sound
hosts.
a lot like
No.
That was Van Helsing.
Yeah, no. And that,
It was a masquerade ball.
But the vampires were hosting it. They weren't attacking it. If anything, the hero was attacking it.
That's
Kind
true.
of. It was a trap.
It was a trap for Van Helsing.
Yeah. See, the vampires were already there.
Actually, the vampire was attacked. Remember, Dracula was attacking them. Or was that, I know what you rip off.
Some other...
Underworld.
Was there a ball on that?
I think so. But Ramon gets to ask his last question.
Uh-huh.
So, what's your last question confused the shit out of Brandon?
The last question, huh?
Last question.
The last question. Okay. Brendan. How and how and how?
That's a bunch of hows.
42.
How?
That's a very stereotypical racial thing, which I'd be very offended of if I was Native American.
Now we're waiting for how.
Okay.
How what?
That's what I'm saying.
How we do it? What, so
How
I
about
have a
first,
bald
what's
guy?
on second?
Okay, no. How altogether you actually really give everybody their character sheets?
I reach into my bag, pull out the
No,
book that I have the
that's
character
not-
sheets
that's
in,
not
and
what
hand them to
exactly
the
what I was
respective
putting
people.
out. What I meant was,
That's
how do you go about letting players
you know how's in that question
develop
again.
their character sheets? That's what I meant.
Do what with their character sheets?
Develop them. It's like develop them to their taste.
I just
Because
pick a random art. I just make a generic character and
think
give it
about
a random feat
with
path.
David Kingston, you kind of let him just, gain his ways of playing, and then the rest of his stats just go. What?
That's how they want, so I know that much. And I just make a generic. To be person.
honest, I think it's best that you just, develop them for everybody else instead. Because at least this way it gives everybody a way to work together. Because if you're gonna let them, just throw their stats up on each other, then
I make the random characters, so if anyone else at the table would care to, crack open a rule book and make their own characters, that'd be really nice, because frankly I'm tired of making first level fighters.
hey.
I love first level fighters.
Hey,
Robbie
I have
goes-
I have no complaint with you making my character. Really, I don't.
That's what you've been complaining about this whole question.
No, he hasn't. He's asking that basically how do you come up with characters?
Oh, that's what he's asking? I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure that out. I open the book, make put some generic stats together, and pick, okay, I haven't done this feat path yet.
Oh, you forgot to add the Slayer's moment.
Yes, I forgot.
What? I'm with Sad and look like Lena?
Yeah.
Well, they're just generic min-maxers, really, if you look at their stats, they would be. So it's kind of, comes naturally with that.